Okay, it's Monday morning. Just got loaded with my first load. It's definitely a Monday. Took 2 hours for them just to find this stuff and get it loaded up on me. So it's about 10 after 9 now. I've been here since just about 10 after 7, right after they opened. It's the first one on the lot. So this is the first load that's going to West Virginia. So we'll go pick up the second load down in West Virginia and don't let the shirt tails touch our ass. That's for damn sure. Got a long day today and can't be having a hold up, so let's get to it.
Way too much general.
So, I'm at this facility. This morning I've already been held up for 2 hours. Trying to get these loads down to West Virginia. So, 2 hours being held up, they couldn't find it on the lot where I was picking up the first load. Whatever. So that held me up 2 hours. I've got to drop everything, has to be delivered today by 3 o'clock. When I left up there, I had 6 hours, just under 6 hours actually. And what I was figuring on my time, I could have made it. What I was figuring in my time, I've got about 5 hours of driving between both drops. So I've got an hour to pick this one up, deliver the first one, and be at the second one. That's my buffer, was an hour. So unless they pull some strings, so it's on this load, they're gonna owe me some money. So this broker that I run for, they do. I mean, you've got to be pretty damn good to be able to run with them. They don't take any bullshit. They don't take, if you're late, you're getting docked. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're an hour late, they're docking your butt, just because the loads pay good. So this load that I'm waiting on to be picked up now has to be delivered by 3 o'clock this evening. So I've already been in contact with my broker, let them know. I did get a hold of someone higher up for this facility. They're not happy that nobody's here. Found out that they all took lunch and decided to leave out of here altogether and left this place unattended. It is definitely a Monday. So they're not going to be happy at all if for some reason, I don't get this load delivered today and I have to stay in Welch, West Virginia. That's where I'm going. So from this load that I'm picking up goes from Buffalo, West Virginia to Welch, West Virginia. So if this load does not get delivered today, being that it won't be my fault, they owe me more money. And they know that. It's in writing. They're pulling in now. It does look like they come in early. So anyway, we'll finish this video up real quick. So they're gonna owe me, if I don't get this load on me and delivered today and it's their fault, they're gonna owe me $500. It's not $100. It's $500 for their negligence on me missing my deadline. As long as it's their fault, they owe that to me. So beings that I've got everything set up that way. Now, if I, and this is for any hotshot, any truck driver, whatever, owner operator. I guarantee you, if you miss out on your load, if you are late, a day late, whatever, if you've got a specific time that you have to be there, a deadline that you definitely have to be there, and you miss it, I about guarantee you 99% of the time they're going to screw you and they're going to take money away from you for what what the original rate was. So with this, it works. It's a two-way street here. It's not just a one-way. You want to take money away from me? I'm going to make it worth my while, bud, and make sure that I've got it in writing that you screw with my mojo out here on the road, running up and down the street, doing my deliveries. That if you're not where you say you're going to be at a certain time, and you don't contact me and get with me about it, and I'm doing a delivery, it doesn't matter. You're going to owe me. It's pretty easy to pick up a phone call, and I'm here to tell you, these boys know when they have something going out for the day where I'm at. They know. So, and this stuff is hot. I mean, the lady just told me on the phone, she goes, "Oh my gosh." She goes, "That has to be there today. The night crew is supposed to come in and grab the stuff and be gone before the facility closes." And I told her, I said, you might want to work something out, because as of right now, if they don't get their butt here so I can get loaded, I said, that deadline ain't going to be hit, and it's not going to be my fault. So, I mean, I'm laughing about it. It's fine. I don't give two shits if I stay the night in Welch, West Virginia. I'm laughing about it because, this facility, so tight knit, they just got to bleep that out. They just messed up. This guy hasn't even opened the gate yet. So, if I don't make the run, and I do everything legally, if I can't make it, it's going to cost them $500 basically. And you're probably like, "Oh my gosh, $500, man, that's a lot of money. You sure you're getting $500? Absolutely. My argument with them over that, I understand taking $100 detention or whatever. A lot of people will take, and settle for $100 detention or something like that if they have to sit there until the next morning. But that just covers your hotel room. You got to think as a businessman. If you're out here running, actually, you got to think this way. If your time's worth something. So, say I'm an employer, and I had a driver in this truck, and that driver could do this run, no problem, in 1 day's time and be back home. This guy, so at this point, things are getting screwed up. It's not the driver's fault, whatever. Now, me as a company owner, with the way I have things set up, if I was company owner, this is the way that I'd have them set up. I pay the hotels, so there's $100 gone. I'm going to give you a food per diem, probably, I don't know, $25 or something like that. So there's another $25 gone. Of course, you're going to get breakfast in the morning, more than likely. So there's probably another $25. And then that next day, say said driver's probably making $200 a day. So, that add that up. I mean, you're talking $350. And then, on top of that, that truck, say I had another run for that truck to be on, this load just screwed up the next run. You know, it just screwed up to where that truck has to stop and set when it's only, you know, when it's only at 6 hours of driving and still has another 5 hours worth of driving. So, you know, that puts everything behind. So that's my logic of why I have it set at $500. You're gonna screw with me. I understand things happen, but if you can't call and, you know, try to work something out on deadlines or whatever, you know, lack of communication is going to cost you big. That's where that's, you know, maybe that's why I've done so great out here. I mean, granted, you know, having that attitude, I guess. Now, I've been hauling for this company for about 4 years, and I have never once missed a deadline, and I have never once been put in this position with this company to where I might miss my drop off because of their negligence. So we'll just see what happens. I mean, but we finally in the gate. I can't ring these boys' ass because they already took one. They're coming out now. I'm gonna follow them back. We'll get this stuff loaded up and get back on the road. So I'll try to video some of it. Well, we just got tied off. So we've got a 20-foot piece of aluminum angle out of this facility, and we have 4 skids of electric insulators. These insulators are very heavy. What we just picked up is about 8,000 pounds, 8,200 pounds roughly. So we're pressing the 10,000 pound mark, full load. Let's go see how the 99 does. Let's get out of here. Okay, we just come through the first toll here in West Virginia on 77. 60 mile an hour down through here. Haven't really got into any extreme hills yet. There's been a couple. We got some bigger ones up ahead. Being that I stopped back there for a second, waiting in line. Of course, you know, the transmission warmed up just a touch. We're at 177 degrees.
as of right now. So yeah, we'll get up here in the hills and we'll check this thing out. I think the old girl's going to surprise us today. I think it's going to do just fine. So we'll get over here to Beckley, Mount Hope area, get this first load dropped off and see what's happening on the number 2 load. So let's get to it. Alright, just started into a nice long climb here. Shut down here in the truck lane. Let's just see what she'll do. We're running about 55 mile an hour. And we're setting at 70 or 177 degrees. 178. Just bumped up 1. So the camera's not doing this hill any kind of justice at all. As you heard, the truck just downshifted. I gotta actually jump over in the other lane. We've got a real slow one up in front of us here. I mean, you can just see the smoke just roaring out of this old boy stacks in front of us. Hill's pretty steep. So, still setting at 55 mile an hour. We're climbing. Almost to the top here. We just hit 180 degrees. And to be quite honest with you, if we were at 185-ish on the high end climbing this hill at 26,000 pounds, it's 182, I'd be happy. That's what I was calling for before. There are a lot of higher hills that are, longer hills than this. That's why I say 190 on a long pull. So she's climbing. We're up to 184. See if she bumps up to 185. Probably isn't going to, but it might. It might touch it. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on it. I think it's going to cool off. I mean, the other side of the hill here, I was running 55 mile an hour at the top, and this load will shove you down the hill. We're up to almost 70 mile an hour. So we can talk about stab braking. Be a good time for that. So when you're going down a hill like this and you got a bunch of weight behind you, to keep from burning your brakes up, it's called stab braking. So I'll get slowed down here to about 60 mile an hour here because we're just about to the bottom of the hill. So I'm at 60. Say that was the speed limit. Let it come up to just a little bit and you stab it. About 5 seconds and let off. Get her down about 5 mile an hour underneath the speed limit, and then she'll speed back up. And while it's speeding back up, you're giving your brakes time to cool. And then you hit it again. You slow her back down again. That's called stab braking. We just reached the bottom of the hill. The reason for stab braking is if you didn't do that, you just rode your brakes all the way down the hill trying to maintain one speed in a heavy truck or pulling heavy loads, you would actually overheat your brakes and start liquefying your brake pads, your brake shoes, heating your drums up, and just burning a set of brakes off. Once that happens, you have no way of stopping whatsoever. So the stab brake method works. You get taught that, or at least I did whenever I learned how to truck, whenever I was getting my Class A CDLs. That was one thing that was in the handbook. I never went to school for CDL, as a CDL class or anything like that. My schooling was basically go get your permit, you pass your permit, and then we're going to have a licensed driver ride with you because the company that I was working for wanted me to get my Class A CDLs. And So I did that, and that's actually how I learned how to shift gears, everything. Then a semi truck, I cannot use a clutch to shift gears. I can use it to start and stop, whatever. But as far as going from first, second, third, whatever, I can't use a clutch. I float the gears. A lot of old timers do it. Some of your big boys out here that run these Peterbilts and stuff, likes to sit low, they do it. It's just a different method of driving. Because in the semi truck, you actually have to double clutch, and I could never get it. So I just learned how to float the gears, and away I went. So let's get back on the road here. Just keep on trucking. Just getting pulled out of that facility. Getting pulled up here to the top. Going to fuel up because we got about a 16th of a tank, 18th of a tank, something like that. Get filled up, and then we'll head on to drop number 2. The broker's trying to work something out with them to stick around to get me unloaded because no one wants to pay it. No one wants to pay me this extra money. So unfortunately, if they don't get anybody, they owe it. So, yeah, get up here, get fueled, and get moving that direction. Transmission just sitting there now. I busted ass getting unloaded. Sitting there just to get unloaded. This transmission cooled off significantly, which is the first. It is down to 159 degrees, which is awesome. So I've been in the hills. You know, we were running anywhere from 170, well, actually 166 is what it's been at today. I got in the hills and it warmed up to what was it, 184? Not quite 185. So I'm very happy with it. So we just lost about 1,600 pounds roughly. Still got about 8,000, 8,200, 8,400, something like that on us. So, you know, we're still heavy. But yeah, I'll get this thing filled up and we'll get on the road. All right. Well, I made it to the facility. I've been sitting here for a couple hours. So, yeah, I'm spending the night. No one here. Turns out, wrong address, not the right contact, nothing. It happens, boys and girls. It does happen. But this is why you always negotiate that detention. Man, I'm really surprised that they didn't have somebody here. I mean, from what I understand, they were leaving at 4, and I was here. I've been here since 4:30, almost 5 o'clock. So 4:30, 4:45, something like that was when I pulled in. So I am in the middle of nowhere, and when I say that, I mean I am in the middle of nowhere. I am on top of a hill. Down below, I mean, this is probably 2.5 miles up in here. And it's straight. I mean, I was climbing. The old girl did good though. She's a pretty steep hill, but it done good. I'm happy. So I've already got it in the works on getting my my layover, you know, being it's their fault. You know, this broker does not have any clue what else I do. You know, he's not the only one that I work for, and he knows that. So I laid it on pretty thick. You know, told him he just, you know, they're ruining my reputation with other customers, blah, blah, blah kind of stuff. You know, kind of give him a story, and makes it easier to get my money. But yeah, he said that he put in the paperwork for the $500. Granted, everybody was out of the office. They'll get it first thing in the morning, and at that time, everything will be good to go. So, it's like I said in the past, this is your leverage, boys. This right here is leverage. But anyway, we're here. I think I'm going to unhook the trailer, and I've got a lock for the gooseneck. I'm going to unhook the trailer and go back down into town, down below. I think there was a Ma and Pa restaurant down there that I saw when I come in. I didn't really see any fast food or anything like that. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know if they even have a Walmart. They probably don't, but you know, this is kind of like, if I had a tent, I'd probably pitch a tent right there and be camping out. So, but that's all right. We're gonna unhook the trailer, go down to town, grab something to eat, and we'll make sure that the trailer's all locked up, and we'll get back up here, get rehooked before it gets dark, and we'll just call it a night. So, yeah, there's my sunset. This is my view of where I'm at. Okay, well, it is Tuesday. Just made it back here to the house. It's about 12:15. Got unloaded this morning. Talked to them guys down there too. They said the contact that I had for down there, that guy hasn't been on that job for a year and a half. And they said if they had a note about it, me coming in a little late, they'd have been glad to stick around and get me unloaded. They were kind of happy to see me. It's pretty funny. Down in that area, they don't get a lot of traffic in there, I guess. They said I'm the first one that's been in there in 3 weeks. So, ended up spending the night down there last night. Got up this morning, you know, got unloaded. I did get my pay, you know, my layover pay. Already factored in the paperwork and all that stuff, so I'll see that tomorrow, and back here at the house. So not quite sure what I'm going to get into on the next one yet. Might be a water line with a mini excavator or something. We'll just have to see. Maybe even some more trucking. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that happy stuff, and follow me if you like my videos, and we'll get into something else on the next one. So until next time, thanks for watching.